Welcome back. Today, we are diving headfirst into a story that's unfolding faster than you can blink. The wild, high-stakes, all-out global race for the future of artificial intelligence.
So what on earth could a massive valuation, a talent exodus at Apple, and a clumsy robot possibly have in common? Well, they're not random headlines at all. They're actually key pieces of the same giant puzzle, the great AI race. So let's connect the dots, shall we? And we have to start with the one thing that makes this whole thing go, the money.
You know, every big race needs fuel. And in the world of AI, that fuel is just mind-blowing amounts of cash. Seriously, we are talking about investments so massive, they are literally redrawing the map of the entire tech industry as we speak.
Okay, get this. Let's take Anthropic, one of the top players in this race. They just landed a new investment of $13 billion. Nope, that's not a typo, $13 billion. That is one of the biggest single AI investments ever made, and it really shows you just how serious this game has gotten.
And what does that $13 billion get you? Well, for Anthropic, it helped launch their valuation to a jaw-dropping $183 billion. To put that into perspective for you, their value has nearly tripled in just 6 months. I mean, that kind of growth is it's almost unheard of.
This chart right here gives you a sense of just how vertical that climb has been. But the reason why is even crazier. It's all about their revenue. According to their own CFO, Anthropic went from making about $1 billion at the start of the year to over $5 billion by August. They could very well be the fastest growing tech company in history.
And just look at who's writing these massive checks. This is everybody. We're talking sovereign wealth funds from Singapore and Qatar, Wall Street titans. This isn't just a few venture capitalists anymore. This is the entire global financial system basically screaming that AI is the future, and the race is on right now.
But, you know, money can't write code. It can't build the future all by itself. For that, you need people. And that brings us to the second and maybe even more brutal battlefield in this AI race, the war for genius-level talent. Companies are treating top AI researchers like they're star athletes, and the fight to sign them is getting intense.
And you can see this war playing out perfectly in the fight between Apple and Meta. On one side, you have Apple, which is dealing with a serious brain drain. They're losing key people from the exact teams that are supposed to be building their AI products. And on the other side, Meta is on an absolute shopping spree, building these new super intelligence labs by basically poaching the best people from everyone else.
You know, this isn't just your normal employee turnover. Industry recruiters are actually calling what's happening at Apple a crisis of confidence. Think about that. When the very people building your AI future start leaving in big numbers, it sends a message. It suggests that maybe even they don't think their team can win.
So, what's Meta's secret weapon in this talent war? Well, it's not very subtle, but man is it effective. They are throwing truly astronomical sums of money at people. Just wait till you see this next number.
To steal just one of Apple's former team leaders, a guy named Ruming Peng, Meta apparently offered a pay package worth over $200 million for one person. Apple didn't even bother making a counteroffer. That's not just a salary, that's a power move. That's a statement.
All right, so you've got the cash, you've hired the brains. Now what? You need a strategy, a game plan for how you're actually going to win. And this is where things get really fascinating, because we're seeing two completely different approaches from two of the biggest names out there.
First, you've got OpenAI. Their play is, well, it's pragmatic, it's logical, it's almost surgical. They realized they had a weak spot. They weren't great at testing and improving their own products. So what do? They went out and spent over $1 billion to buy StatSig, one of the best companies in the world at doing exactly that. It's just a really smart, solid move to make their core business stronger.
And then there's Tesla. Elon Musk is not talking about A/B testing. He's talking about a technological renaissance. His new master plan for the company is this huge philosophical vision, where Tesla basically stops being just a car company and becomes an AI and robotics company that will change the course of humanity. It's a really big swing.
But that grand vision, it's hitting a brick wall of criticism. Fred Lambert over at Electric just dismissed the whole thing as a bunch of empty promises about a robot that, in his words, can't even serve popcorn. And that quote really nails the skepticism out there. A lot of people see this not as a bold new vision, but as a desperate Hail Mary while Tesla's main car business is actually struggling.
And if you want to see the scale of this bet, just look at this. Musk himself is projecting that 80%, 80, of Tesla's future value is going to come from the Optimus robot. This is a robot that's still being developed, that is reportedly having trouble with basic tasks, all while the company's car sales are dropping for the second year in a row. It might be one of the biggest, riskiest gambles in business history.
So, where does all this leave us in the great AI race? Well, we've got players fueled by literal mountains of cash, we have a flat-out war for talent that's shaking up the biggest companies in the world, and we have wildly different strategies, from the safe, calculated moves to the absolutely massive all-or-nothing bets on the future.
So that brings us to the final question, and I'll throw it to you. With all this money flying around and the smartest people in tech changing teams, who are you betting on to win this thing? The super well-funded newcomer? The giant that's buying up all the talent? The pragmatic builder? Or the audacious visionary? One thing's for sure, the finish line is nowhere in sight.